Good evening. I'm here. Thought I'd, oh my god, that's a little loud. Thought I'd have a little fun with you tonight and leave it hanging on that screen for a little longer since I know you were, like, uppity about it yesterday. Hey. Hey, Finnegan. Hey, Kenneth. How you both doing? Hello. Hey, I'm here. It's 12:30 on Friday, September 8th. I'm late, as of course I am, because God forbid I'm ever here on time or early, like I was last night. But hey, I'm here, and we're gonna do, we're gonna finish Queso Blanco 4. It's the last day of investigation, and then last court period, and then I'll move on to case 5. I don't know how much of that'll get done, but maybe if I'm lucky, I'll be able to get through the first day of it. We'll see. December 27th, 2:11 p.m. Wright and Company Law Offices. I was gonna do a ramble, but since I started so late, I kind of have to fuck it and just get into it. Oh yeah, forgot. Oh, I don't have it loaded. Damn it. Shit. I keep forgetting to, like, open the program. Okay, wait. Wait. Yeah, there we go. Got it. Nailed it. What was Mr. Edgeworth talking about? A memory of a crime that I committed. A memory of murder. If the volume's weird, just let me know. Again, I have to adjust it every night because I'm also using it for voice acting. Do you really think Mr. Edgeworth killed? No, I don't believe it. Not Edgeworth. Some painful memory's been troubling him recently. But he'd never take someone's life. Never. Nick. Yo, how's everyone doing? What'd you think of my performance today? I had him swooning in the aisles, huh, Maya? Larry, yes, Larold. He's here. Swooning? Me? Oh, yes, I do remember feeling faint. Right on. Tell me the truth, it was like love at first sight, right? Right, Nick? Me? Well, maybe my heart skipped a beat or two, this Bingus. I think you could do better than that. Come on, I saved Edgeworth in there, dude. Edgy. You guys should be bowing before me. Yeah, bow before your hero. Maya brought in a post. We had a big fight. I know she's just waiting for a chance. Okay, no, this is new. I made a bunch of clips of the last 2 streams, and they are all featured right now. I'm gonna probably upload them to Twitter and YouTube at some point. Apparently, Twitch has a way of just exporting clips as vertical, so I can actually just make them shorts on YouTube. Woohoo! I was hot out there. Hot! Glad someone's happy about how this case is going. He seems too happy to care about anything I show him. That might be a good idea, yeah. Alright, yeah, he ain't reacting. Larry, you really helped out in the trial today. You did! If you weren't there, Larry, I'm sure Mr. Edgeworth would have been found guilty. But seriously, Nick, that boat shop caretaker guy is pretty suspicious. But Edgy ain't off the hook yet. Way to spoil the mood, Larry. Hey, I'm just a guy sitting in the audience, you know? From where I was sitting, Edgy seemed pretty edgy. I mean, can you really know what he's telling about the truth about that night? Yeah. Nick? I don't know. Realist Larry. Hey, Ephraim. Why do I keep seeing the edge of the thing every time someone talks? It's weird. Or every time someone chats. I'm going to believe in you two until the end. Us two? Edgeworth and who else? You mean me, right? Nah, he means me. Right, Nick? Yeah, you, Larry. Not me? But why you, Larry? Huh? Actually, yeah, why me, Nick? Enough with the silent treatment. Nick, why do you trust Mr. Edgeworth so much? I mean, he's changed recently, true, but when we first met him, he was kind of a jerk, don't you think? You didn't know him back then. Back when he wanted to become a defense attorney. Wait, was that when you two were classmates? Yes, in grade school. They saved me, Miles, and Larry. They saved me, and I'll never forget it. That's why I became a defense attorney, you know? If you haven't seen this before, this is a little, well, let's see. What? Hey, Larry, what's he talking about? Huh? Oh, sorry, I kind of forgot. Okay, Nick, out with it. We're going to hear the story today, and that's final. Touching? Yeah. It's touching, but it's also very... you'll see. Okay. It's kind of a long story, so hang in there. It was the very end of 3rd grade. I was on a trial. A class trial. A class trial? You remember, Larry. Spring, end of 3rd grade. A kid in our class got his lunch money stolen. Hey, Karma. Boop, 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 boop. Lunch money? Our school was really small. Every month, kids would bring in an envelope with money for lunch from home. Huh, I see. Anyway, this kid's envelope disappeared, with $38 still inside. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember that. I could see why you'd forget, though. You were out of school that day. Anyway, the envelope had been stolen during PE class. I was coming down with a cold, so I'd skipped PE that day. I was the only one not in class. So they thought you did it? Who the fuck brings 38 bucks to school? Be real, that's an expensive lunch. It's for a whole month, though. That's for like 20 days worth of food. Yeah, the kids in class said I should be put on trial. Trial? So the next day we held a classroom trial with me as the defendant. I didn't do it. Guilty, he did it. Guilty, it was you. Give the money back. You're such a meanie. No one wants to play with you. Just admit it. You can't hide the truth. Tell us the truth. We're not going to play with you anymore. Yeah, and you're not going to borrow my eraser. Give me back my 50 cents I loaned you. Hey, did you rob the bank that other day? Now, Phoenix, you know you shouldn't steal people's money. It's not right. Yes, but, oh, forget it. Too much to explain. America's already expensive. Yeah, it is. Sorry, 1 second. Bear with me 1 second here. Okay, sorry about that. I don't think it paused out quickly. It's going to come back in the middle of a word. Okay, sorry about that. Now, Phoenix, you know you shouldn't steal people's money. It's not right. In the end, even the teacher thought I'd done it. Well, that was exactly a minute. I was gone. Go over and apologize, Phoenix. I didn't know what was happening. I was so sad. I couldn't stop crying. Everyone was staring at me like I'd done it. I tried to apologize. I went to where the boy whose money had been stolen was sitting. That's when it happened. He shouldn't have to apologize. The only thing that belongs in a trial is evidence. Anything else has no place. You should all be ashamed. Amateurs. Miles? It wasn't you who stole my money, was it? No. Then you shouldn't apologize. Everyone's been shouting you did it, but no one has any proof. That is why, Your Honor, this boy is innocent. But Miles, it was your money that was stolen. Yeah, he did it. He's the one. We don't need proof. Make him say he's sorry. Why don't you all just shut up? This is always how it is. Everybody ganging up and picking on one person. Just think how he feels. He said he didn't do it, so he didn't do it. Very well. I'll replace the money myself. This class trial's over. That's how it happened. After that, the three of us were the best of friends. Wow, I had no idea. They should all feel bad, especially the teacher. God, this is honestly... Well, the teacher just paid the $38. Yeah, I had no idea either. I mean, I forgot. That's when I learned what it meant to be alone. Totally alone, without a friend in the world. Sorry, close the window for a second. You did a good thing, Larry. Yeah, well, I was just lucky that I took the day off from school. If I'd been there, they would have thought I'd done it. So I took it kind of personally, see? When something smells, it's usually the butts. Even worse has happened to Shu Takumi in his youth. Really, this is a true story. I had no idea. That makes it seem a little better, then. I remember this feeling very campy and, like, silly. For Phoenix to kind of base his whole thing over that. But it's not. I just realized it's not. It's just the reason why they were all friends. Still gross, she straight up blamed him as well. Why was there a trial in the first place? They're 9, for God's sake. It's still gross. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, Edgeworth and I talked after that class trial. That's when I heard his father was a defense attorney. I remember his eyes would shine when he talked about his father. I'm going to become a defense attorney, just like my father. A famous defense attorney. Then a few months later, he suddenly transferred to another school. The DL6 incident. Right. I'm not sure, but the transfer probably had to do with his father's death. That's so sad. It was several years later when I heard Edgeworth's name again. There was a newspaper article about him. The headline was something like, "Dark Suspicions of a Demon Attorney." Fabricating evidence, manipulating testimonies, covering up facts. The article said he'd do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. But why? What happened? I mean, that's not the Edgy I used to know at all. That's what I thought, too. I tried to get in touch with him I don't know how many times. He never replied. I guess he didn't want to see his old friends. I couldn't just drop it, though. I wanted to meet him and learn why he became who he became. That's when I decided. Wait, you don't mean... That's why? That's why you became a defense attorney? To meet Edgeworth? If I was a defense attorney, I knew he'd have to meet me whether he wanted to or not. In court. Edgeworth believed in me, and I believe in him. He's in pain, and no one's on his side. That's not really how he is. He really is, right? That's what people think of him. Obviously, he's clearly not as ruthless as the newspapers say he is. Edgeworth gives you Burb vibes. Well, he does have that frilly crest. Let's be honest, if the roles were reversed, Phoenix would be a terrifying prosecutor. Maybe? I don't know. He's kind of a softie, especially, well, I won't spoil that, but you get to see a different side of Phoenix in a later game. In a couple later games, actually. I think he's a bit of softie. Maybe Tsundere softie, yeah. Softie? I'm the only one who knows the real Edgeworth. I'm the only one who can help him. This being a video game, the idea of just talking to Edgeworth or sending a letter can't happen. Let's force him to see us, yeah. Can't just go to his house and ring his doorbell. Whoa, Nick. So is that why you helped me out for free? Yes, I helped you because I believed in you. Except I don't remember saying I'd do it for free. Aw, Nick. Nick, we have to save Mr. Edgeworth if it's the last thing we do, okay? Right. It very well may be. First is that rental boat shop caretaker. We need to find out who or what he is. I'd settle for who. Guess I could clean out some of this evidence I no longer need. Oh, I'm getting hiccups now. Okay, let's go. How much evidence did we get rid of? We got rid of like 3 pieces. You look as grim as always. Mr. Edgeworth, I heard the story about the class trial. Class trial? What do you mean? You don't remember? No, I don't. Your lunch money was stolen, wasn't it? In 3rd grade? Lunch money? Oh, right. Yes, I seem to remember something like that. Nick, I think you're the only one who really remembers. Well, it probably only really mattered to me anyway. Mr. Edgeworth, didn't you know? That trial was the reason Nick became a defense attorney. Ridiculous. Gee, thanks. That said, it does sound like the kind of thing you'd do. You haven't changed a bit, have you, Wright? So simple. To a fault, even. Well, maybe, yeah, but I think you changed too much, Edgeworth. Perhaps. Hey, Edgeworth, why did you become a prosecutor, anyway? You used to look up to your dad. You said that you wanted to be a defense attorney, right? I couldn't let myself deny reality like you. What do you mean? My father was taken from me, and you want me to defend the criminals? Look. I'm sorry, Wright, but I'm not that good of a person. One suspect was apprehended in your father's murder, right? Yes, the man trapped in the elevator with my father. His name was Yanni Yogi. He had to be the shooter, any way you look at it. Yet he was found innocent. That defense attorney got him off the hook. That would be Robert Hammond. On that day, 15 years ago, the three of us were trapped in that elevator for 5 hours. When we were rescued, we all suffered oxygen deprivation. I had lost all memory of the murder. Lost your memory? Out your ass. Even now, I can't recall what happened in that elevator. That was the crux of Yogi's attorney's argument in court. He claimed Yanni Yogi had been not sound of mind due to the oxygen deprivation. Yogi's released on a lack of evidence. Innocent. That's when I changed my mind. I started to hate defense attorneys. What's your relationship with Von Karma? He's my teacher and a man who deserves respect. I learned everything I know of courtroom techniques from him. So he's like my sister was to you, Nick. He's a perfectionist in all things. In court, in his personal life, he's obsessed with doing everything perfectly. Perfectly, huh? In all the cases he has taken on, none were left unsolved, and not one suspect was declared innocent, ever. But that's... I know. It's possible some of the suspects were indeed innocent. However, it is impossible for us to accurately determine that in every case. All Von Karma does is his job, to find the suspect guilty, perfectly. In any case, it's nigh well impossible to find a weakness in him. Should a weakness appear, he would do everything in his power to make it go away. Edgeworth, what you're saying is true. You're headed for a guilty sentence tomorrow. He's right. Now's no time to praise the enemy, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a strange situation in which I find myself, I'll admit. No kidding. Sorry. I'm not sure I can help you with that. Nick, no! That's a photo of his father. Don't show him that. You're right. Now probably isn't a good time to dredge up those memories. What is it? Nothing. Huh? Huh? Oh. It was the case that changed my life. And tomorrow, on December 28th, its statute of limitations runs out. Tomorrow? Could that be a coincidence? But even if the case is finally closed on paper, it'll never be erased from my memory. Never. Poor Mr. Edgeworth. What are you showing me this picture for? No reason. You know I was impressed by your deduction in the trial today. Granted, you were at the end of your rope, but still. Yeah, he's a traumatized man. A trauma boy. Trauma Center, Under the Knife. That game came out around the same time this game did, and they both constantly got, like, competed. They both got compared, as if there was, like, some fight going on between them in sales, and it's like, they're different games. Trauma Center has nothing to do with this. That's an Atlas game. Nick, he noticed. Haha. Yeah, insert the meme. Yeah, I know what music you're talking about. They were compared because they both revolve around real life professions that are like considered in high regard. So doctors and lawyers. They're both visual novels. I really don't feel that's the case for Trauma Center. Trauma Center is way more action oriented, even if most of it is text. Alright, I think we're done talking to Edgy. criminal affairs. Looks like Detective Gumshoe hasn't gotten back yet. In any case, you get a lot of dueling games or dueling movies like when they come out, like Animal Crossing and Doom, yeah. Gumshoe, he won't be coming back today. Oh, really? He said there was some guy he had to arrest by tomorrow. The boat shop caretaker. He shouted something like, catching him as if it's... he said something about catching him if it's the last thing I do, pal. Good luck, Gumshoe. It's glued to his computer screen. What? That's not possible. The world ended yesterday. He must be reading predictions for the future on someone's homepage. Please, think about what you're doing, Jolinda. Don't take my Tommy away from me. No! He must be doing image training for a nasty divorce argument. I'd say it sound like a certain someone from a certain anime. Anime? He's out. Again. When does he work, anyway? Now, don't be harsh. Guess we'll have to come back later. Larry, why are you still here? Go do something else. Hey, pal. Long time no see. Oh, Detective Gumshoe. Close one today, eh? I got so worked up I snapped my tie in half. Sorry about that. No problem, pal. Thanks to you, we now know who really did it. You mean the boat shop caretaker? Sorry, one second. Look, I'll make you a promise. I'll have that scoundrel in my custody by trial time tomorrow. Come what may. It's my duty to you as a police officer. Now I'm off to catch me a criminal. Detective Gumshoe sure is active today. Oh, one other thing. No one could go into the woods today. The woods? Where Lotta was camping? The woods are off limits to camping, and apparently the park ranger found out. He got pretty mad. No one could go in for a while. Guess Lotta's in a lot of trouble. Anyway, I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Boogie. Huh? The steel eyesore is missing. Eyesore? Looks like the hot dog stand is closed too. I guess Larry's too busy worrying about Mr. Edgeworth to show up for work. That old caretaker got away. Really wonder now after today who's the new Mario voice. I mean, we'll find out when the game comes out. People were upset about that video. They were like, this didn't tell us anything. It's just the same information from before, just spoken. And it's like, let Charles have his moment. Let him, you know, transition into this new position and sail out smoothly. People are like, what's the reason he's stopping? It's like, do we really need to know? What's the reason anyone quits their job or leaves their job? I mean, you all know how much I hate my job and would love to leave it. So it's like, you know, we'll find out when the game comes out, and we'll either love him or hate him. To be fair, from what we've seen, the voices, Mario and Luigi, sound fine. The only character that I'm a little sour on right now is Wario, because he sounded weird in that Move It trailer. He was like, It wasn't like, I don't know. Egg salad! Egg salad. Yep. Never imagined he might be the real murderer. Why are you here? I know that clearing of the throat anywhere. Hello. What might you be doing here? Out for a walk, hmm? Ah, the days of my youth, like the scent of fresh lemon. You see? Mr. Grossberg, this is no time for idle reminiscing. Mr. Edgeworth's trial ends tomorrow. That is true, yes. But from what I saw of today's trial, Edgeworth should be fine, right? Well, I'm not so sure about that. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm not sure. If you find out anything at once, if you find anything out, come by my office at once. I may be able to offer you some assistance. Thanks. Bye. What do you think Mr. Grossberg was doing here, anyway? Who knows? Stupid rumor going around that Charles was let go rather than a simple retirement. I mean, that's entirely possible. Nick, the Force, there's someone in there. You're right, there's a few policemen in there. They must be looking for the caretaker. Good luck. Boat rental shop. Doesn't look like anyone's around. Caretaker must have run for the hills, huh? Yeah, looks like it. He didn't seem like a bad person. Some boats floating at the dock. The murder took place in a boat from this dock. Apparently the police took away the actual... Yeah, you know that already. Here's the thing, like, they could easily have said, like, look, you've been at this for a long time. We need to think about, you know, moving on here and having someone else take the reins so that, you know... Like, because, you know, Charles is very invested in his work. I'm sure that he's well aware of his own age and the fact that he's not going to be able to do the voice forever. I'm sure that even if it was a decision by Nintendo themselves, Martinet was probably like, yeah, you're probably right. It's probably time for me to step back and take a more passive role here. And I mean, Zion, they'll find a way to spin it on the internet. Exactly. You know, that's exactly what they're going to do. Here's the thing, that Mario Ambassador role that he's in, we don't know if that's an honorary, unpaid role or not, but essentially what they're saying is that he's still allowed to go to conventions, do the voice for people, and make people happy. And that's great, because he's already been doing that for the last, 10, 20 years, or however long he's been at it. I don't know how long he's been doing cons, I just know how long he's been voice acting. So, you know, I think that's great for him, because he still gets to do what he loves. He doesn't have to give up doing the Mario voice. He's just not Mario in the new games anymore. But that's also the other question, too. Like, is he retiring from voice acting in general? We don't know. We don't know if he's in anything else yet. The last non-Mario thing we heard him in was Dragon Ball Superhero, where he played the main villain, and he was great in that movie. He was great as Magenta. God, what happens to him at the end of that movie is kind of brutal, honestly. I mean, if you agreed with their suggestion, it's not hostile, as Hostile's rumor says, yeah. That makes SMBZ way funnier in hindsight, yeah. I think it's also touching that his last line in a Nintendo product, well, it was the Mario movie as Mario's father, saying, "That's my boys," while pointing at Mario and Luigi. I think that's really sweet. That's like such a nice nod to his whole career, and I think it's kind of a Papa. He calls me Miyamoto Papa. That's really cute. All right, let's get in here. We gotta get down with the bird. Nobody's home. Hello. Ah! Hey, it's Polly. Wonder where your owner's gone, Polly. Hello. Ah! Can't believe he'd run off and leave his poor parrot to fend for himself. Do I have a... It's a cockatoo. Also, just for good measure. And you know what? Why not? Let's also throw in a... Everything's cold. Looks like he didn't turn his heater on. Needs more screaming in a cup. That's not the same cockatoo. That's the cockatoo I have the sound clips of his buttons. Guess he hasn't been back here since the trial. Say, Nick, don't people usually put pictures of the fish up on the wall to boast about them? Yeah, I guess so. You mean pictures of the fish they caught, right? Right, but don't all the fish on the wall here look real puny to you? Well, you know what they say. You should have seen the one that got away. Except the one that got away from us was the caretaker, and we did see him. Why do I feel like we're having two different conversations here? That reminds me, Nick. Polly here knows the number to the safe, right? Yeah, that's right. Polly, what's the safe number? 1228. Ah! Let's open it, Nick. Come on. I'm sure there isn't any money in there. Aw, but hey, he keeps it locked, right? So there must be something of value in there. That screaming into a cup video is a whole mood for you? Yes. I'm not so sure. Okay, Nick, let's see what's in there. Guess there might be a clue or two. The only thing in here is a letter. A letter? Aw, boring. There's no name or signature on this thing. It's handwritten in very precise, clear letters. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Edgeworth? Nick, why would Mr. Edgeworth's name be on there? How should I know? I'm going to read the whole thing. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. It also says this is your last chance. Now is the time to get revenge on the 2 men who ruined your life. The rest of the letter goes on to describe the murder plot in detail. How to kill Robert Hammond, how to frame Edgeworth, calling Edgeworth out to the lake, getting on the boat, firing twice. This is exactly what I figured out today in court. It's all here in perfect detail. What do you think it means, Nick? I don't know, but it looks like these are instructions for that caretaker. When he killed Robert Hammond and called out Edgeworth, he was following instructions. But who could have written that letter? And what does it mean to get revenge on Miles Edgeworth? Look, I don't know, okay? But one thing's for certain. This letter is an amazing clue. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. This note details the murder and setup. Alright, let's see if this crashes my computer again. Ah! What's wrong? Huh? Oh, never mind. What? Tell me. Just when I saw the TV, I remembered. They were showing a Pink Princess special this week. Oh. See, that's why I didn't want to tell you. Phoenix is such a dick. He can be a little upset over that. That fishing pole looks expensive. Maybe we should bring it to Detective Gumshoe. Don't you think the caretaker would mind? Well, we could just leave in the metal detector in exchange. Maybe we'd better not. It doesn't look like he used this kitchen much. You're right. Guess the whole pasta restaurant thing was a lie. What, you thought he was telling the truth? Maybe I should take care of Polly, Nick? You probably shouldn't just kidnap her. Police know about her anyway. I'm sure they'll do something. Her eye's a lot more, shiny in the actual room than it is in that portrait. Well, okay. Sorry, Polly. He says I can't take you. Great, now the bird's going to hate me. Please kidnap her. In the live-action Ace Attorney movie, Polly is actually a cockatoo instead of a macaw or whatever type of parrot that is. Edgeworth, see this letter? This came out of the safe in the shack where that boat rental caretaker lives. I see. Revenge? On me? Who is that old guy anyway? I don't know. Could he be an innocent defendant you got declared guilty or something? Nice, Wright, but I don't remember that old man. At all. Not at all. So he was following this letter then? Which means there was someone else behind it. Now's the time to get revenge on the 2 men who ruined your life. 2 men, meaning myself and Robert Hammond? It also says this is your last chance. Last chance? Wait, maybe he's talking about the statute of limitations on the DL6 incident. Wait, that old man. What is it? Do you know who he is? Yogi? Could he be Yogi? Yogi? The suspect in the DL6 incident. The one who was found innocent. Yanni Yogi was a court bailiff at the time. We just happened to be in that elevator together 15 years ago. Please kidnap the bird. They put a bear on trial, he just wanted a picnic basket. The quake was incredibly strong. Before I knew it, everything was dark. We were there for so long, it felt like forever. The air thinned and the darkness closed in on us in that little box. We became unsettled. Help! I can't breathe! Quiet, I said quiet. You're not making this any easier. I want to get out. Help! Get us out! Don't shout, you'll just use up more oxygen. That's all I remember. When I came to, I was in a hospital bed, staring up at the ceiling. And court, Yanni Yogi's mental condition was called into question. They claimed the oxygen deprivation and stress had caused temporary insanity. In the end, the claim passed the court, and Yogi was found innocent. Huh. But isn't that strange? This letter tells him to get revenge on Edgeworth. Why would he want to take revenge on you? Right. Yeah? There's something that's been troubling me these last few days. I didn't know whether or not I should tell you. You mean the nightmare? We read this already. I think the time has come to tell all. For the last 15 years, I've had the same dream almost every night. I wake up in a fearful sweat every time. What kind of dream? It's a dream about my father's killing in the dark. If I'm not mistaken, in the anime for Ace Attorney, the killing doesn't happen in an elevator. It happens in a locked, in a locked evidence room, doesn't it? It's like the same premise. Actually, I can't remember. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking... Maybe that was the movie. Maybe it was a live-action movie. I don't know. I seem to remember the evidence room being more important in either the anime or the evidence movie. It is the movie. Okay. Wow. So that's... They changed a lot of minor details with this case in the movie. The weirdest and best change... And like, one of the neatest changes in the movie... How Edgeworth is in the beginning of it. Doing the third case. And, Dee Vasquez still gets found guilty, but she gets found guilty because she's the defendant of that case instead, and Edgeworth just gets her found guilty immediately. You don't really see it; you just see it for like a minute, because it's going on at the same time Phoenix is doing his first case. That movie's very interesting. And after watching the end of this, I highly recommend people go and watch that movie if you can, because it is a ride. It is really fun. Takashi Miike directed it, and that guy, he's that one kind of genius. I'll say that. It's a dream about my father's killing in the dark. Yeah, you're gonna be seeing this scene a lot, I think. I can't breathe. You're using up my air. What? Stop breathing my air! I'll stop you! What? What are you... Stop breathing my air! No, Father! He's attacking Father! Then I see the pistol lying by my feet. I don't know if it was evidence from the day in court or the bailiffs. In a daze, I picked up the pistol. Get away! Get away from my father! And with that scream, I wake. It's a bone-chilling scream. A scream that has rung in my ears for the past 15 years. But that's just a dream, right? Right? The thought is the only thing that's kept me sane for the last 15 years. But what if I'm wrong? What if it's real? They say that sometimes people shut out memories in self-defense. Maybe it was I who killed my father. What? If you think about it that way, this letter makes sense. Get your revenge on Miles Edgeworth. Think about it. Yogi was really innocent. That's why he wanted revenge against me. Wait, Edgeworth, you mean... It was me. I was the true criminal of DL6. I shot my father! This is bad. What are we going to do, Nick? What can we do? I don't know. I don't think there's anything we could do, like it or not. You had a dream you were in a Minecraft world chased by creepers. Shudder. God damn it. If there's someone else who knows a lot about the DL6 incident, maybe. There is, Nick. There is someone else who knows about DL6. Mr. Grossberg. Hello there. What's wrong? You look troubled. No kidding. I can't believe you're not. My. Just calm down and tell me what happened, okay? It's Mr. Edgeworth. He... I see. So Edgeworth dreamt he shot his own father. It's only a dream. Only a dream. Only slightly. Only slightly. I wonder... What? If that's the case, why do you two look so troubled then, hmm? Well... Also, consider this. Yogi quite certainly holds a deep grudge against Miles Edgeworth. So deep he'd want to frame him for murder. This leads me to surmise that Mr. Edgeworth's dream was not a dream, it was real. As you imagined. Miles Edgeworth threw the pistol to save his father. The pistol fired, and the deed was done. Should've left the safety on. No. I don't believe it. Yogi was suspected of murder, and his career as a bailiff was irrevocably wrecked. Thus he sought revenge on Miles Edgeworth. This was his last chance, of course, with the statute of limitations so close. What do you know about Edgeworth's father? He was a defense attorney without peer. It sounds trite, but it's true. Well, he may have had one peer, now that I think about it. What if Yogi got the gun instead, and yeah. Your mentor, Mia Fey. My sister. Gregory Edgeworth was disapproving of Mr. Von Karma's techniques. Very disapproving. That's no surprise. Von Karma is an extreme man. Forged testimonies and evidence are nothing to him. The result, he has a perfect win record in court. What's a bay leaf again? That's the thing you put in French onion soup to make it taste good. You're not supposed to eat that. It's also a Pokemon. But if you mean a bailiff is someone who kind of guards the court. They're there to, like, if anyone gets rowdy in court, they're kind of like a police officer that will detain people. And they also, well, they're just security, mostly. Court security, exactly. Guards act as security more. I mean, when you consider the type of people that could put on trial, it's very possible for someone to, you know, get a little crafty or a little violent. You have the bailiff there. They will tackle any ne'er-do-wells. Like a defenstrator. Yeah, I think. Messenger if needed, yeah. That's why the judge always says, bailiff, get the witness. I just looked over at my Digimon stuff and I just remembered I got my my version Numamon version 20th today. I can't show it right now, but I'll post a picture of it on Twitter tomorrow. And I might add it to the gold case video when I finally make that later. Speaking of, I have new tools to work on it to hopefully fix it, but I needed something to remove a stripped screw. Wow, because one of the screws that I have in that gold metal case are stripped. Once I get it out, though, I have extra screws and I have extra bits now to you know, screw them in. So hopefully I can get it fixed, and I'll edit the stream, not the stream, but I have the stream and I'll edit it into a video later and put it on my main. Speaking of my main, again, I'm going like super off topic here. No, actually, never mind. I already mentioned the shorts thing. I put some community posts on my main and my stream YouTube channel. So if anyone wants to weigh in on them, you're more than welcome to. They're both asking questions. The result, he has a perfect win record in court. To beat him, Gregory Edgeworth tried to call attention to his methods. And he lost, and died in despair, as it were. I see. When Gregory Edgeworth was killed, the police called on a spirit medium. That was your mother, Misty Fey. Why didn't that make the thing move? Alright, hold on. How's that? Okay, better. It's more sensitive now. I am Gregory Edgeworth. I have been killed. The one who shot me was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi. And Yogi was found innocent. That's when my mother left us. Everyone called her a fraud. That's right, everyone thought she was, you see. Yet, now that I think about it, it seems the one who lied was Gregory Edgeworth's ghost. Gregory Edgeworth must have known who shot him. I don't believe it. So you're saying he falsified his testimony? That Edgeworth's dad lied to protect his son? It's only a possibility, mind you. But a possibility nonetheless. Think of how many lives were ruined because of that. Yanni Yogi's life was ruined. Misty Fey's life was ruined. Mia's life was ruined. Maya's life was irreparably damaged. If Misty Faye hadn't been called a fraud, then Mia would have never became a defense attorney. And then she would have never gotten killed by Red White. And if he's telling the truth, well, damn. Though, to be fair, if Mia never became a defense attorney, then, Phoenix would be dead right now. But that's a story for another day. Quite sorry. I have nothing to say concerning that. Actually, no, he wouldn't be. I just remembered that that chain of events wouldn't have happened either. Okay. Ah, she was a beautiful woman. I'm truly sorry about what I did. Huh? Sorry about what? I think I'll stay out of this one. This incident took place 15 years ago tomorrow. So tomorrow will be the completion of not one, but 2 trials. All thanks to the statute of limitations, even though in real life, there's no statute of limitations on murder. However, I'm afraid the damage the DL6 incident has done will never be eased. Gregory Edgeworth. He was a gifted man. His death was truly a loss. I wonder what would have become of Von Karma were he alive. Oh ho, so this is the letter. It does seem that Yogi was following this letter when he killed Hammond. But why kill Robert Hammond? Hammond was a skilled defense attorney, but he defended clients not for their own sake, but for his own. Huh? For his own sake? He never trusted his clients, that one. The only thing he trusted was his own ability. But he got his client found innocent, so why should it matter? Actually, my dear, it's quite different. He won that innocent verdict for no one but himself. Yogi was a free man, but socially he was ruined. Huh? You'll understand soon enough. Wait, what is it? This letter. I've seen this handwriting somewhere before. A long time ago. Whose handwriting was this? Do you have any idea who wrote this? I mean, who's the one person on this list that's not involved in the actual murder? Could it be Manfred von Karma? Von Karma? Why would he have something to do with this? Well, I'm not sure. Von Karma. Von Karma. Wait, you're right, my boy. This is Von Karma's handwriting. I'm sure of it. Why would Von Karma send a handwritten letter to tell him to do this? Why wouldn't he type it up? How is that perfect? You're leaving behind so much evidence doing that. Probably traces of his skin on that letter. I used to see it all the time on court reports. What? But that means the one who told Mr. Yogi to kill was... Correct, Manfred von Karma himself. What does this mean, then? Why would von Karma want to frame Edgeworth? If it was truly von Karma who wrote this letter, then he would know the truth. He would know that Miles Edgeworth had accidentally killed his own father. He'll say as much tomorrow in court, I should think. He'll press the point until the court finds Miles Edgeworth guilty. Oh no. But how could Von Karma know about Mr. Edgeworth's past like that? Also, why would that be relevant to this? It's not relevant to this case. They can't press him for that unless they want to try him right there for DL6. Even Mr. Edgeworth thought it was just a nightmare. That I do not know. Yet I do know that Von Karma is both persistent and a perfectionist. He may be seeking to satisfy a grudge against Gregory Edgeworth by hurting his son. What do you mean? It was 15 years ago. Von Karma met Gregory Edgeworth in court, and Von Karma did win, but he didn't make it through the trial unscarred. Gregory versus Manfred. What happened in the trial between Edgeworth's dad and Von Karma? Von Karma got the guilty verdict he wanted. He won the trial. But Gregory Edgeworth accused Von Karma of faulty evidence. And though he lost the trial, Mr. Edgeworth's accusation stood. Faulty evidence? It was the only penalty Von Karma has ever received in his career as a prosecutor. Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. Must have been quite the shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. A vacation? Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. Really? He doesn't take vacations. Like, go to the sea or, to the mountains? Don't tell me he's never been to Europe. You have strange ideas about vacations, Maya. In any case, that was the only time he took a vacation from work. Several months who can afford that? Apparently a perfect prosecutor like him. Manfred von Karma, perfect prosecutor, the sequel to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I believe the penalty upset him quite a lot. Odd. If he wanted to keep a perfect record so badly, why would he take such a long vacation? What do we do, Nick? Von Karma's going to bring up DL6, you can bet on it. What if Mr. Edgeworth pleads guilty to it? It won't let him. Yes, Mr. Wright, I hate to say this, but even accidental murder is murder, you know? I know that. I just believe in Edgeworth's innocence. He's gotta pay taxes, too. It's fine. Probably still rich out of his ass. Can't believe he'd kill someone. But Nick, Mr. Edgeworth admits it himself. His father must have lied to protect him from beyond the grave. I don't care. I know he's not guilty. Mr. Wright, if you say so, I suppose I could go check again. The police files might hold something of interest. Mr. Grossberg, thank you. I can't promise anything. In fact, I think the chances of finding something are slim. I understand. Police materials, There's hardly anyone here. Everyone must be out looking for the old guy, Yogi. Ah, it's you. I don't think Gumshoe will be coming back today. He's staying out late looking for someone. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's pounding the pavement for real. We were wondering if we could check out the records room again. Well, now, I just can't have anyone wandering around in there. But I guess Mr. Von Karma's in there now anyway. You could go in as long as he's there. Von Karma? Yes, he just arrived, actually. Von Karma's in the records room. Nick, let's hurry. Now we get to see cursed, front-facing Von Karma. Dusty as always. We were only just here yesterday. I'm sure they haven't had time to clean. What's wrong, Nick? Nothing. I was just noticing that he isn't here. Von Karma? Huh? One of the drawers here's open. Someone must have been looking in it recently. The label says unsolved cases, evidence. Unsolved cases? Nick, the file for DL6, it's completely empty. What? What are you doing in here? Yeah! Von Karma! You! How do you know my name? There's a cricket in my house, lovely. There's a ton of bugs in my house. Every time I go downstairs, there's either a house centipede, or there's like a big one with like long legs that jumps really high. It's quite annoying. I don't usually kill them though. Huh? Have we met? Centipede, yes, house centipedes. Look them up. They got a lot of legs. There's roaches here. There used to be roaches at my old job. Have we met? What are you saying? We see each other every day, don't we? We're Miles Edgeworth's defense team. Defense team? I beg your pardon. You see, I rarely remember defense attorneys. Look at that smile. They're like bugs to me. Hey, it's relevant conversation. Needless things to be crushed. I could see how this guy was Edgeworth's mentor. Fool, you think I, a prosecutor, would give you a defense attorney information? Bah! They'll get over your... Yeah. Spider bite. Hurt. Spider gonna bite ya. Creep. Mr. Edgeworth is your student, right? Romanticist who still can't shed that veneer of amateurism. Just like his father. Always second-rate. Mr. Von Karma, you had an axe to grind with Mr. Gregory Edgeworth, didn't you? Me? A grudge against a mere defense attorney? Why? Because he dealt a blow to your otherwise perfect trial record? So you did, but what I don't get is, why'd you take his son under your wing afterwards? The son of your most bitter rival? That, my dear attorney, is none of your business. Tomorrow will be the last day of this trial. It's been a while since I've had a defense attorney last this long. Still, you'll lose in the end. Miles Edgeworth will admit his own guilt. His guilt of 15 years ago, you mean? You're quite the researcher. If you've done your homework so well, then certainly you must understand. This is where you'd see a lot of chains and locks, yeah. If this were any other game, any other Ace Attorney game. You know what Miles Edgeworth will tell the court tomorrow. We were right. So Von Karma's going to bring up DL6 in court tomorrow. This large drawer is half open. Label on the drawer reads Unsolved Cases, Evidence. All the stuff in here looks like random junk. Only the evidence for DL6 is missing. I can guess who took it, too. Von Karma. Cabinets where they keep evidence for current cases. Some of the things are obviously murder weapons. Others are question marks. Most of it looks like random junk. Nick, what do you think this clothespin is for? Don't touch that. It's evidence. That's weird. I thought you were not allowed to move here. Mr. Von Karma, look at this. This was you, wasn't it? You instructed Yanni Yogi to commit murder. Yanni Yogi. How many years has it been since I've heard him called by that name? He's a fool. I told him to burn it after reading it. So you admit it? You wrote Mr. Yogi this letter? Yes, my dear defense attorney. Thank you for taking the trouble to bring it to me. You saved me from a lot of needless hassle. What? Nick, what is that thing? A stun gun. For self-defense. Usually. Yeah, present the culprit with the evidence, why not? Indeed. 600,000 volts will course through your body like a dog touching an electric fence. 600,000? Oh, don't worry. People don't die from it. Usually. Now give me the letter. No! No! Whoa, what are you? Nick, run! Maya! Out of my way! Ah! You ever see the torture scene in Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker? Yeah, Karma, you realize you'll be tried for assault? No, he's gonna get away with it. I mean, the tickle... yeah, the European tickle rod. Oh no, Japan had the tickle rods. Ugh, he got us. The letter's gone, of course. Oh shit, it is. And he took all the DL6 evidence. All of it. Back to having no clues. Wait, Maya jumped first. Maya, is she okay? Maya! Maya, open your eyes! Maya. The letter. Did he take it? Huh? Oh, yeah. Are you okay? I couldn't stop him. I jumped as fast as I could, but one shot from that thing knocked me out cold. I'm useless. I'm no good as a lawyer or a medium. I can't even call my sister. You're not a lawyer, though. Not even now when we need her the most. I wish I hadn't woken up at all. Maya! There has to be some way I can help her. I better do something about her self-confidence first. Maya, she's holding something. What is that? A bullet? DL6 incident, evidence number 7. Taken from the heart of Gregory Edgeworth. I remember. Von Karma was holding this when Maya jumped him. Still bears clear ballistic markings. DL6 bullet stashed in a pocket. I'll prove it to you, Maya. You are most definitely not useless. I'll prove it to you in court tomorrow. My, oh my. December 28th, 9:51 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. I like the movie handling this by having Von Karma zap them at the lake instead. I have to rewatch that movie. The one part of that movie that... I remember a lot of the movie, but, like, not the details that are different from the game. Also, I have the ending theme to the movie on my computer. What is it called? It's 2012 Spark by Porno Graffiti. Porno Graffiti also did one of the openings to Full Metal Alchemist, if I'm not mistaken. I think. Maybe I might be mixing them up with someone else. They did the first opening to FMA, the original FMA. This is it. Judgment Day. Guess what? What, Karma? Today things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. What? I said, I don't know. Chicken butt? Are you gonna post a bunch of butt emotes in chat? You finally got the mic in VR working, really? That's interesting. Tomorrow night's VR night. For me, at least. What's the big idea? Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Just conducting a lot of electricity. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick. Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth's looking glum as always. Hope Von Karma doesn't push him too hard. Oh my god, Phoenix. Whoa, whoa! What are you doing? Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back. Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge. That is really bad out of context. Right, good idea. Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Oh, yeah, pal! What's gotten into that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go, Detective? Have no fear. As promised, I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him in. Took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Yogi says he's forgotten his own name, but it has to be a lie. Why would he want revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. Maya Chu. Maya the Bichu. December 28th, 10 a.m., District Courtroom, Courtroom number 3. Which is the one that gets exploded? Is that number 4? Or was it number 7? I can't remember. How many courtrooms are actually in this courthouse? Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Right, very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood. Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says. What would Phoenix look like as a Pokemon, Lucario? Well, he's blue and spiky, so maybe. And he's always fighting for justice. Very well, Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Schnot bubble. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop on the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he currently has lost memory of his name and identity. Witness? Why did you run away yesterday? The witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well. Please begin your testimony. Why I left court. What I did on summer vacation. I'm really sorry about just leaving yesterday like I did. But I wasn't running away or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figured I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of those motive things, right? I don't got one. So my testimony yesterday stands as is. How did Von Karma not get a misdemeanor charge? How's Phoenix going to prove what he did? Von Karma would wipe the prints off the stun gun. And how are Phoenix and Maya going to prove they were stunned? I mean, I guess Maya was easily able to do it, but, like, I don't know. Evidence is... Very well, let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Food? Well, Polly is a bit of a gourmand, you see. She only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. Oh, they do have his name listed. Yanni Yogi, age 52, suspect in the DL6 incident. Former court bailiff, now runs a boat rental shop. Gregory Edgeworth, deceased, victim in the DL6 incident 15 years ago, a defense attorney and Miles' father. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack? Well, I kind of got lost, you see. The witness has trouble remembering things sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he's on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Karma. No one's going to believe that. I see, so he was lost. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. I bet Von Karma was harboring him. Need one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. How could you say you have no motive? I say you do. You have a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. First things first, I have to prove this man is who he is. Do that and the motive will prove itself. You lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yup, it seems like it. Then how could you know you don't have anything to do with this incident? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. The witness has testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the court proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old codger's head? It's impossible. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Very well, witness. Please continue. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past or lack thereof into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness said he has nothing to do with the case and no motive. But both of these statements are lies. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, there's a serious problem then with your claim. Or are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Oh, now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. So, who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Dumb Von Karma. His name. Mr. Wright, please tell us this witness's name. Gregory Edgeworth, clearly. Yanni Yogi. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi, that name seems familiar. Oh, Yanni Yogi, from the DL6 incident. Figures the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This witness, is Yanni Yogi? Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now. You don't know why Phoenix didn't make a copy of the note? Yeah. Well, then it would look forged. I don't know. There's a lot of dumb logic in this series that makes no sense. And I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see, that makes sense. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? No fingerprints? Stash it somewhere safe before the trial. Yeah. You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yup. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burned our fingerprints off to hide your past. Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, what about DNA testing? It's 2016. I guess we will not be able to prove his identity. No. Well, what will you do now, Mr. Wright? Seems that the case has been decided, no? No. I know what happened. I know everything. DNA takes time, true. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. I'm just gonna grab a drink right here. Because, if you haven't seen this before, what comes next is, again, it's something. Diabetes? I might already... Stop saying diabetes! Why is everyone saying it? Look, I might already have that, to be honest. I've had foot pain before that's apparently very accurate to what diabetic foot pain feels like, so... I don't know. I really need to get myself checked out, Jesus. I shouldn't be talking about this on stream. No one's fingers and toes. If I have anything, it's not that bad yet, but I will try to get myself checked out before the end of the year. There's no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one. Nick, what are we gonna do? I didn't even consider that I might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief, hmm? Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to... Your Honor? The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up on my proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Order! Oh, well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Did you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please, be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes out of it, I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through with your little game? Yeah, of course. Let the parrot take the stand. Actually, you know what? This might be a perfect screenshot for this, this case, or this part. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. How would they know to have brought it here? That's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name! The witness is ignoring me. Must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well, witness. Who is your owner? Please, testify for us. It's a cute parrot. I think you're kind of missing the fact that we're cross-examining an animal in court. And you know what the sad thing is? This isn't the last time something like this happens in the series. Hello, hello. Ah! It's smart though, yeah. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Yeah, come to think of it, the next time an animal gets cross-examined as well, it's also an animal that's generally considered very smart. I will not say what the animal is, though. We'll save that for when I eventually get to that game. Very well, begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you going to do, Nick? I don't know. What do we do, Maya? Well, I guess we should try to get some information out of her. We had a girl getting possessed by her sister. This isn't beyond the realm of possibility. Yeah, true. We need to show the judge that her owner is Mr. Yogi. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. I want you to testify. Maya, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? What's your name? Maybe I should get her to say her name? Polly, Polly, what's your name? Polly, Polly! Ah! Mr. Wright, I think we've established that this parrot's name is Polly. Does this have anything to do with their owner's identity? Yes, it does, actually. Fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? Then show us proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he's Yanni Yogi. Something like this actually happened in real life. True, they had a parrot who was repeating his owners saying, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Yeah. It did happen long after this game came out. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is... the DO6 case file. That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on, then? Show us or stop wasting our time. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please show us the page. Where in this file's name is the information connected to this parrot's name? Suspect data. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly! Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. A mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog name she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix, Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old! Indeed. Although it is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. We need some other corroborating evidence. Yeah, epic line there. It's weird, in the original game, everyone seemed to think that was Phoenix saying the she's only 7 years old line, implying that he somehow knew about, Von Karma's granddaughter. But if you look, the nameplate always says Phoenix. Or always says, damn it, it always says Karma. It does not say Phoenix, even in the original, DS version. Or I guess the localized DS version. going to find that? Nick, we're getting closer. One more. If we could just get one more piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well, witness, you may continue. Witness, you're here to speak. You must speak to me. Frankly, I can't believe you're speaking to the parrot. Well, I guess we should try to get some information out of her. We need to show the judge that her owner is Mr. Yanni Yogi. As I recall, 2 days ago. Polly, have we forgotten something?
Don't forget DL6! Ah!
If I could get Polly to say that here, that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something?
Hello. Ah!
That's not what you were supposed to say. Forgot. Something we forgot.
Hello. Ah!
Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot, could he? Did he train her not to respond when asked if we'd forgotten anything? Von Karma's like 8 steps ahead here. Maybe I'll get her to say the number of that safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get her to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number to the safe in the shack?
1228.
My, what a reckless parrot. Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker? Actually, it does. That's why I had her say it. Ha! Ridiculous. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could this possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity?
Take that!
The DL6 case file again. What is the obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something related to that number? It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically the date on which DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident, December 28th. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Ah! He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important that date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. This line's great. This line is fucking great. Bah, this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM's card number to 0001 because I'm number 1. It has nothing to do with a date. Nothing. For someone who's perfect about everything, Von Karma sure is reckless with his personal information. That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. Yeah, grab his bank card and run. Dude's rich as fuck, too. Blurted out his bank card number, yeah. This is a mere coincidence, that is all. True, that is a possibility. However, the two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. But what are you saying? Steal his bank. He may have made it up, yeah. Buy all the furry art with it. I'm waiting on a bunch of commissions that haven't come through yet. I have to talk to people, because I'm not getting responses here. Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. Steal his house, we could pay it off, yeah. Witness, tell us your name. Wait, this witness, he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order, order! Yanni Yogi, so was it you who killed Robert Hammond and tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes. It was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond. He said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancé, my social standing. Then this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance after 15 years. This was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit it. I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. On Karma, where is Mr. Yogi? Under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. Then the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, is innocent, in this case at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular murder. Well, that was weird. That was murder. The word murder was not in there. Still, you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So I would like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? Very well, this court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Objection!
Did someone just say objection? It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what? Nick, Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. Where the hell did they get the confetti? I don't know. It's just in the courtroom. Actually, there's a 4-Coma comic about that. Apparently, Gumshoe cuts up the confetti himself and throws it at the end of every case. If you look that up, it's apparently I have seen that comic before. It's like a non-canon 4-Coma. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad. Uh-oh, what do I do?
Objection!
The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst. Didn't something like this happen yesterday, too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a certain guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. You must hear this new statement. You must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Mr. Edgeworth out. Statute of limitations is over. It's over after today. That's why he wants to confess. For 15 years, I've had a recurring dream. A nightmare. It's only a nightmare. That's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Yanni Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean in the incident where your father died? From the distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide either. Everything was as clear as day. The murderer... the criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess to my guilt. I am guilty for DL6 and the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me, even though I'm pointing over at Phoenix. Also, in the anime, for some reason the defense and the prosecution are switched. Phoenix is always on the left in those shots, and the prosecution's always on the right. When it's only left and right when you're looking at it from the judge's point of view, which is how you're usually seeing it. This is certainly unexpected. The defendant, declared innocent, is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. It's obvious. We hold a trial, right here, right now. We try this man for the crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time, I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. December 28th, 2:24 p.m. I'm sorry, Wright. I've just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, sir. I mean, you kill your dad. I didn't want to believe it myself, Detective, but it's the truth. I deserve to be punished. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. Now, this is not how court works ever, but hey. To be fair, it's not how it works in that one case in the 5th game either. But they still do it. This is crazy, just crazy! Nick, what are you doing? Huh? Oh, I was just reading through the court record once more. I'm getting my case ready. Your case? For what? Huh? Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Phoenix. I'm sorry, Edgeworth, but I don't believe your nightmare. What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. December 28th, 2:30 p.m. Courtroom number 3. Now then, I would like to resume our trial. You can't say that he's unreliable there. Just because it's a dream doesn't mean it's real. It's a kangaroo court. It's a court where you get TF'd into a kangaroo afterwards. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He's confessed to his crime. Let's begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations on the DL6 incident runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I'd like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Von Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? If you knew this was going to happen from the beginning, why did he retrain Pauline and not bring up DL6? Will the witness state his name and profession? Miles Edgeworth, and I'm a prosecuting attorney. Mr. Edgeworth, 15 years ago you mistakenly killed your father, Gregory Edgeworth. Is this correct? It is correct. Then testify about this matter to the court. When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail doesn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I could get it to work. Karma did that out of spite. Yeah, probably. Please, please. The Dulcix incident. The DLC incident. No, you don't become a kangaroo if you're a lawyer. If you get found guilty, you get species reassigned to become a kangaroo. So that you won't be a menace to humanity anymore. Which is funny because kangaroos are very much aggressive animals. They can kick you in the nuts and do permanent damage. I'm very tempted to say Vinny's permanent voice there. Kangaroo have a fierce punch, yeah. They have a fierce punch when they wear boxing gloves. Did you ever hear about the war against the Australians and the emus apparently won? It's real, by the way. Before we move ahead here, I can pull that up. Emu war. Minimal impact on the overall emu population. Yeah. Following World War I, large numbers of discharged vets were served in the war, were given land by the Australian government. The war was conducted under the command of Major Gwyn. Oh god, he's got like a Limsa Laminsa name. I can't read that. His name. He has 5 names. This dude. So essentially, it was a war, but what it was that it was an attempt to cull emus from the area. And what happened was, what they did, they killed a lot of emus and injured a lot of emus, but it didn't really do much to the overall population. So, in essence, the emus won the war because they're still there and they just repopulated. The humans gave up. Okay, anyway, Edgeworth's admitting he killed his father. That day, I'd gone to observe one of that day, I'd gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. Feels like an alleged incident I just read about, the Cobra incident. Really? My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted to stop them fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot, then a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. Until now, you thought this memory was a dream. We were stuck in that elevator for 5 hours. The oxygen in the elevator ran out, and I lost my memory of the events. Ah, the same claim Mr. Yogi's made. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. What was the trial your father was involved in on that day? I don't remember things very clearly. Only 2 things. I know that my father lost and Mr. Von Karma was the prosecuting attorney. Mr. Von Karma, you were handling that case? It was 15 years ago. I don't remember the details. That was when Edgeworth pointed out the problem in Von Karma's evidence. As we went to leave the... Okay. So there were 3 people, including yourself, trapped in that elevator. So again, without spoiling anything, I will say that the case that's involved with the DL6 incident, the one that Gregory lost to Von Karma in, that does come up in a later game. In a much later game. Yes, myself, my father, and Yanni Yogi. We were fine at first, but then as time passed and no one came to help. My father and Mr. Yogi... Okay. I'm rereading. I'm doing the thing where I reread it. What'd you do then? I was a 9-year-old boy at the time. What could I do? I was scared, trembling in the corner. But then... What was it? A pistol. I assumed it was the bailiff, Yanni Yogi's. The safety must have come off when it fell from his holster. Okay, well, that answers that question. And you picked it up. What happened next? Picked up, threw it at Mr. Yogi. Wanted to stop the fighting. Did you know it was a pistol when you threw it? I think I knew. I knew it was dangerous. But the air was getting so thick, I panicked. So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was in a daze. The gun fired once? Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, they've echoed in my head every day. That gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream. To this day. Yes, I can practically hear it now. I doubt I'll ever forget that scream as long as I live. Here it is. One part of that testimony clearly contradicts the evidence. But I don't know what it means. I better find out, and quick. Whoa. Whoa, why is my controller doing... Oh, because I'm hitting down and right. The scream is what I have to focus on, but... Oh, no, that was the right evidence. Cool. So there was only one gunshot. Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. No, Your Honor, unfortunately, you don't. Take a look at this. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. and in it lies a clear contradiction in Mr. Edgeworth's testimony. Well, I could see the victim Gregory Edgeworth lying there. But what do you mean, a contradiction? Just as I thought, the judge is clueless, as always. Show the judge the contradiction in the photo. This hole right here. As should be obvious, the contradiction is here. I see, a bullet hole in the door. Your Honor, Miles Edgeworth testifies that there was only one gunshot. However, according to this photograph, not one, but 2 shots were fired. One shot hit the victim and the other hit the elevator door. I ask you then, why did Miles Edgeworth only hear 1 gunshot? This photograph does not confirm a second shot, and this photograph does seem to confirm a second shot. However, when was the hole in the elevator made? Might have been there before the incident occurred. If it was there before, it has nothing to do with this incident. Mr. Wright, you have proof that this bullet was caused by the time of the incident? I didn't think of that. I don't have proof. Ha! As I suspected. Given that all this happened 15 years ago, it's doubtful any proof remains. Nick, take a look at this. A court record? Look, doesn't this make you think? Whoa, she's right. That is strange. Your Honor, I think I'll be able to show you proof. What? Impossible! Now, Mr. Von Karma, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Very well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. What do you have that proves the bullet hole in the door was related to this incident? Murder weapon was fired twice. Your Honor, the answer's in this file. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? It's almost like we're talking about that exact case right now. I don't accept this as evidence unless you could tell us what page it's on. What page shows a link between this bullet hole and the DL6 incident? Look at the victim data in this file. It says it was quite plainly, the murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard 1 gunshot, yet the murder weapon was fired twice. Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? It's on page, you bitch asshole. Yeah. It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else. Mr. Wright, but who could that someone possibly be? The murderer, of course. I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fantasies got out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 incident case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page. The case summary? That's on page 1. Look what's written there. Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired 2 times, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. That second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter, the whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that made that bullet hole in the door. Order! I will have order! Mr. Wright has proven one thing to us quite clearly, that the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, as Mr. Von Karma says, the second bullet was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. So all we have is the single bullet fired. I'm afraid I have to discount the defense's claim. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter. God, how did this happen? I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong? Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection? I'm sorry, Maya. What? It looks like I was wrong. Nick? If the second bullet wasn't there, then all my conjectures are for nothing. No, but you said you'd do it, Nick. You said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent. I'm sorry. It's just when I saw that photograph, I thought that 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it, I thought I'd won. I thought there was another person, someone else who'd fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think it could be that simple. The case has stood unsolved for 15 years. Nick. Well, it seems that we've finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing of Miles Edgeworth before passing my verdict. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No. No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention? Yes, I did. Oh no, he's accepted the guilt. Very well, the statute of limitations on the murder of Gregory Edgeworth runs out today. Therefore, I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today, right here. Right now. Indeed. Does anyone have any objections? I've been here before. It's just like my first day in court. There's so many things I know I should be saying, but my mind's gone blank and I can't find the words. Mr. Wright?
Objection!
Your Honor. I object. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object, Oof. Nick, I don't know. His case is perfect. Oh no. Ah. It must exist. The second bullet. What? What did you just say? Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it. You idiot. It seems waiting's not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. There's an outtake. There's a live outtake for the Ace Attorney anime, where you hear Mia like comforting Phoenix over something, and then you just hear her voice actress go, "Yeah, pansy," while he's like crying. And then Phoenix is like, and Phoenix's voice actor's like, "I'm such a bitch." Those outtakes are really funny. When we finish the trilogy, I got to show some of them off on stream, even if it's like an unlisted stream. It's really funny. Seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet. It existed. Also, how did Mia talk to Phoenix right there? My favorite is that this music turns me on. I think my favorite one, and I brought this one up on stream, is when Phoenix goes, "There's a Snickers bar in the water." When he's like looking for the seashell. Ghost screaming really loudly can eventually be heard. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, actually, you know what, Ephraim? That does have precedence in this series as well. Good observation there. So she's just yelling really loudly at Phoenix. What? But we've just heard proof that it did not exist. I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened. But who? The murderer. The murderer? Then just tell it. Then tell us. Just who is this murderer? I'm still thinking about that one. So the criminal took the second bullet, but why? Huh? First off, how would they have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet? The murderer didn't need it. The murderer had to find it. Why would the murderer have spent some time to look for that stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. What's wrong, Mr. Wright? The murderer had no reason to take that bullet. You don't want to admit it, but it's true. Had to take it. Had to take it. The murderer. What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But, the murderer had to take that bullet. Had to, Mr. Wright? What do you mean? Well, for instance... For instance, what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer? The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer themselves was shot, and they left with the second bullet still inside of them, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Snake could remove it. Yeah, he could. Yeah, I guess that's how it worked, yes. But there's a problem with that. The other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges and the bullet hit Mystery Man A outside. The bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping it. I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. Boy.file. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved in the incident was wounded. There was no murderer. No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? Gregory Edgeworth. I already read this. Dealt the perfect blow to his record. Must have been quite the shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean... it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma! Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Your Honor, there is a suspect. One lone suspect. This is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? My hand is shaking. What? Von Karma! Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma, the prosecutor, the one standing right there. Ah, you don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident. Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave any clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That would leave a doctor as a witness. Why in the 8 circles of hell do they need to ask a defense lawyer for the suspect? I don't know. Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. That's kind of a fallacy. You probably could. Wait. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where? Yeah, you think you figured it out. Well, Mr. Wright, can you produce evidence to prove that? All right, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. I mean, that's the law of the rule of law there. What? The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is... How exactly do we prove it? Metal bend it? No. Is it the bullet? It can't be the bullet. What exactly is that? Sorry. Judge, if you would. Right, penalty. Really not sure I've managed to make it this far. Mr. Wright, please reconsider your evidence. Oh, right, yeah. Short to the point with that penalty. Yeah, you're right. I thought this was later, but it's now. Von Karma's perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery, leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... I do. There's the possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. So now instead of getting shot to death, instead of dying of old age, he gets to die of lead poisoning. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We could use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find. I refuse! You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you. Short to the point with that penalty. Nah, fuck off, man. He's sweating bullets, yeah. Order! 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 Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call for a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out in this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing. Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Mr. Von Karma? You. It was you. I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent. Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident. What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6. But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? Oh, no, my friend. I have no obligation to prove anything. It is Mr. Wright who must prove something here, not I. Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6? Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. No. I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma. What? You were close. One day away from freedom. But you see, I have proof. What? Who would have thought you would have dug your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof. That's... a bullet? Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely, with all the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings. You may recall the term. Came up in the first trial 2 days ago. Ballistic markings are the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you can tell which weapon fired the bullet. It's quite accurate. The movie puts the bullet inside the thinker. I don't remember... Why? I don't remember that. Oh! Mia puts it in there. We're grilling like a Taco Bell grilled burrito. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We can analyze both bullets. Then if the markings matched, we would both know that the bullets were fired from the same gun. The very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma? That scream. I've heard that scream before. Wait, I know! I need a drink after that one. It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed! Mr. Von Karma? Oh, Edgeworth! Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me! So it was you. You and your father are my curse! Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you! I'll bury you with my bare hands! Death! Death! 15 years earlier. Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth? Only you would defy me. What, Phoenix, what am I, chopped liver? It was a shock like none I'd ever known. Me, penalized. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Suddenly, I found myself in the darkness. I was in the court records room. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out into the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button, but nothing happened. Then, there was a noise. I was in pain. A horrible burning pain in my shoulder. Just then the lights came back on. The elevator door opened before my eyes. I saw 3 people lying inside, all lying unconscious from oxygen deprivation. Much to my surprise, a pistol lay at my feet. I knew then it was destiny. That's not from that case. That's the other case. In his last moment, Gregory Edgeworth was still unconscious. He died, never knowing who had shot him. Later, he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. No hard feelings towards the guy who didn't want to cover me for him for that time. Ah, well, he'll burn out too, I guess, yeah. Those what shot him, and figuratively, metaphorically, and literally, yeah. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge! What? What are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it! Very well. It appears we've come to the very long way to the end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. You were innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. 2 not guilties in 1 day. That is all. This court is adjourned. Because that's what he really thought, though. He was the last guy seen while he was alive. He never got the chance to see who it was who really killed him. Yep. That's why he blamed Yogi for it, because he thought he thought his son shot him. Which is a shame, really. Maya should summon his ghost and have him talk it out. December 28th, 5:38 p.m. Nick, we did it! Did you see his face? Von Karma looked even paler than usual. He's pretending to be all cool, but inside you crushed him, Nick. Crushed. I gotta say, I'm impressed. It was pretty close, though. I was sure we had it. I know, I was on the verge of tears myself the whole time. But now it's all just a good memory. So it's finally over, Edgeworth. Please send Edgeworth to therapy. Unfortunately, no, that's not what happens. Right, yeah? I'm not sure how to say this. If only Gregory went back 5 minutes before his death. Nah, it's still too early. That was 9 years before that game came out. I know. Try thank you. 4. I see. Thank you, Thank you, Wright. You're welcome. I think you could have done better than that. Sorry. I'm not good at this sort of thing. You got a lot to learn, Edgeworth. She's got you there. Whoa! Amazing, pal. You pulled through just like I thought you would. I'll never forget this. I owe you one, pal. And tonight, let's party. Dinner's on me. Yeah, my salary went down a bit this month, but who cares? See, Mr. Edgeworth, you should take a lesson from Detective Gumshoe. That's how you say thank you. I see. Whoop! I feel foolish. Don't worry, take it a little at a time. You'll get used to it. It's been 15 years since I've seen Edgeworth this unguarded. Hey, y'all! Lotta! Y'all were great in there. Thank you. Yo, Edgeworth, congrats! Thank y'all very much. I knew you were innocent from the start, of course. Just look at you. You wouldn't stick your hand in the cookie jar even if no one was there. You were the first witness on the witness on the first day of the trial, weren't you? Yeah, well, let bygones be bygones, eh? Speaking of which, what are you doing now, Lotta? Who, me? Oh, I went back to college. I gave up trying to be an investigative photographer pretty quick. Really? That's too bad. Huh? Isn't that the hot dog guy from the park? Huh? It's over, Nick. My life is over. Why the sad face, Larry? What happened now? Oh, Nick, I'm not long for this world. You don't look sick. It's Kianci. She's going to live in Paris. Paris, Nick. She's leaving me behind. Should have seen that coming. Yo, Edgy, there you are. Yes, here I am. Congrats, Edgy. Here, little gift for me in celebration. Celebration? That's unusual for you. Harry Butts, you come along tonight too. My treat, pal. Huh? Thanks. Looking forward to it. Yo, Nick. That's the suit that questioned me. When he says treat, that's not police talk for prison food, right? Right? I think he'll be fine, Larry. Right. Yeah, what's up? That envelope that Larry gave me, it's got money in it. Well, yeah, that's not strange. People give money away to celebrate sometimes. It's $38, right? Huh. What a weird amount. I mean, it's not a little, but it's not a lot either. $38 exactly? Nick! Wasn't that the exact amount of lunch money that was stolen from Mr. Edgeworth in school? $38? No. No! Larry, it was you?! What are you so surprised about, right? Huh? Larry was absent that day from school, right? But that doesn't automatically rule him out as a suspect. What? What? Think back to that day, 15 years ago. Larry took the day off, but he was bored, so he came into school anyway. And he saw the money lying there, and the rest is history. I was never good at history. Edgeworth, you didn't know, did you? I suspected, I just couldn't picture Larry protecting you like he did that day. Everyone else was against you the whole time. I couldn't read what that said. You remember, don't you? Yeah, too well. Larry, you dumbass. Right, you may not know this, but we used to have a saying back in school. When something smells, it's usually the butts. I know. Really, right? I'm surprised you didn't figure it out. Well, this sure is an unexpected turn of events, eh? Edgeworth? You should have told me. Now, Nick, it was 15 years ago. Don't you think the statute of limitations has run out, Mr. Edgeworth? I'd say so, yes. There you have it. Where does that leave me? I became a defense attorney because of what you two did. Well, you always have been something of an insufferable emotionalist. Yeah, and you get worked up too easily, too. Death! The death sentence for both of you! Man, if only I'd known I'd become a prosecutor instead! The same goes for me, only the other way around. For the longest time, I thought that I might have killed my own father. I thought I might be a criminal. I became a prosecutor in part to punish myself. If I had known the truth, I might have become a defense attorney after all. Edgeworth. Want to switch, Wright? Hey, y'all. Line up, I'll take a photo. Hey, photo time. Let's go. And after that, dinner on me. Detective Gumshoe took us out in the town that night. We celebrated Edgeworth's newfound freedom, even though Edgeworth himself was still in detention. December 29th, 5:02 a.m., Wright & Company Law Offices. Whoa, I went a little overboard yesterday. My head hurts. Huh? It's still only 5 a.m. Maybe I should go back to sleep. What's this? A letter? Good morning, Nick. You were really impressive yesterday. Seeing you, it made me think about what I'm doing here. I'm a spirit medium, in training, of course. I want to help Mr. Edgeworth, too. I wanted to help you, but I couldn't. I was useless. So I've decided to go back to my training. I'll become a full-fledged spirit medium for starters. I couldn't say it to your face, so I left this letter. Goodbye, Nick. Goodbye? What time is it? Ah, the first trains for the mountains have left already. To the station! I guess I'm too late. Hey! Nick? Maya? So, you're leaving? Yeah. It's hard being a spirit medium who can't talk to spirits. And I think you'll do fine without me, Nick. Be good, okay?
Hold it!
Wait! What? I never could have saved Edgeworth without your help. Huh? On the last day of the trial, I heard her. I heard Mia's voice. You heard my sister? Yes, only her voice, but still. It was at the very end when I thought we'd lost everything. Well, that's my sister for you. Detective Gumshoe helped, and Mr. Grossberg, and even Larry. I'm the only one who couldn't help. I was useless, Nick. But you were the one who stopped Von Karma, Maya. Huh? I didn't do anything. All I did was wander around in a daze. Sorry, but I have evidence that you helped. Evidence? Show Maya some evidence to cheer her up.
Take that!
A bullet? Von Karma was convinced he had taken all the evidence pertaining to DL6. But you were the one who rescued that last piece of evidence we needed. This was the bullet that put an end to Von Karma. And you were the one who gave it to me. Nick. Thanks, Maya. I couldn't have done it without you. I'll be back soon. Huh? I'm going to complete my training and come back. Okay. I'll be waiting. Of course you will. You can't run that office by yourself. You're hopeless. I don't know about that. So, this is it. See you soon, Maya. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page. And say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins. With the same old crazy cast of characters. Don't think you've graduated yet, amateur. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim? Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this. I can't really rest here because there's dialogue during the ending. Hey, pal, Mr. Edgeworth came down to the precinct to wish me a happy new year. Talk about a pleasant surprise. Whoop, Detective Gumshoe! I can't with that. Then he hung his head low and went right back outside. Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Huh? Nick? Nah, I haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's not exactly what you call a cheap date. Huh? Oh, she's in Hawaii right now, yeah. All of his girlfriends either go to Hawaii or Paris. Who, Wright? Yeah, I remember him. I hear he's been busy lately. You know, not to ring my own bell, but I sort of taught him everything he knows. I'm sure he's grateful. What a dick. Phoenix Wright, Ah, the defense attorney for whom I wrote that affidavit for, yes. Oh, you should know I've taken over management of the Gatewater Hotel recently. Should you be in the area, please stop by. Ahem, oh, it's you. Phoenix Wright. Oh, yes, Mia's understudy, was he not? I wonder how he's doing. Haven't seen him of late. Ah, the days of my youth, like the scent of a fresh lemon, you see. Phoenix Wright? Is he an actor? Well, I'm not buying it. You can't be a star with a name like Phoenix. Did you know that they're finally putting some of Old Hammer's movies out on DVD? You can buy a box set thing. Not that I know what DVD is, a word I use 3-letter words for everything these days. Whoa, that was really fast. I actually couldn't read what that all said. She was complaining about the acronym DVD for a second there. I'm pleased to announce The Pink Princess is a hit. I sure owe Mr. Wright a great deal. Oh, and I'm keeping my face out of the public eye till the show's over. I wouldn't want to ruin any kid's dreams, you know? Oh, I got a letter from Maya the other day. It sounds like she's caught a cold standing under a waterfall. I wanted to visit, but didn't have time, so I sent her some Pink Princess trading cards. She says she can't buy them where she is. What kind of place is she living at, anyway? Right? Who's that? You want to talk? Let's talk Pink Princess. All right. But, you know, I snuck into the studio the other day, and I saw her, the one inside the Pink Princess costume. Ah, what a dog. It was kind of a shock for a boy of my tender age. So we saw Will Powers. Because it's implied Will Powers is the Pink Princess. Yeah, I remember, right? That lawyer guy. Huh, me? I'm in training to become a paranormal photographer. You know that picture I took of everyone? Well, just behind them, there's a ghost. For real. Now that's talent. I'm gonna be famous. victory. And look, Mia is there.
Hold it!
A brand new episode's been added. Wow, the way the menu works in this kind of ruins the shock of that. So yeah, that's how in the DS version that happens, and then it just shows you that in the menu, and then you have the option of choosing to play it or not. Give me one moment. I'm just gonna run and use the bathroom real quick, and then we'll do case 5 here, or we'll start case 5. Actually, I'm just gonna stop the recording because it has to be a separate part.